Joined here at the Thornbury Surfacing Stadium by Chippenham Town manager Mike Cook. Mike, firstly, mate, we'll say hope you're feeling a little bit better. Obviously, wasn't there for the Dartford game last week. Give us a little health update on Mike Cook.
Yeah, feeling a lot better actually, thanks. Just had the flu really at the end of the day, and it was terrible, and so. I couldn't get out of bed. But Oski and Macca did a great job, and it makes that point that you earned last week a little bit more special with getting those three today as well. So
exactly, we'll follow on to today's game straight after that. The point made, a 3-0 home victory here for Chippenham today against Billericay. It's our fourth chance we've had to try and scalp the lads at the bottom of the table, but today you've come in after a fairly mixed week of comings and goings, and can't say anything other than we've done the business today.
Yeah, I think so. It was. They didn't look too bad, to be fair. I thought they did all right. First 20 minutes, they were the better team, and like we've said before, you just need to hang in there. Sometimes it wasn't pretty from us, but if you bring in 3 or 4 loans, and we've only had one training session, it's difficult for them to gel straight away. So I knew it would take a little bit of time, and I just, really proud of them. I mean, there's a few people in there now. We won't get the stats through until tomorrow, but you'll be able to see they've run a fair few miles today for us.
Good stuff. And before we move on to the game itself and break apart that, I know that you were keen to sort of register your own sort of thanks and compliments to the departing players that have left us. Of course, if anyone hasn't seen this week, Marlon Jackson and Ross Stern, they've both left the club by mutual consent. Also, Adam Mann has departed over to America for a couple of months, but he is coming back. But obviously for yourself, Mike, anything you want to add to that as a bit of a personal touch from the gaffer?
Yeah, very disappointed to see him go, and I love both of them. They're really good lads. They're gentlemen, and they're professional. And the way they took the news, they made it a lot easier for me. And so I'm just hoping they get sorted out. We've all got mortgages to pay, and coming up to Christmas as well, I'd like to see those two sorted really. So anybody who wants to give us a ring on them, I'll give them a great reference.
Superb. And Mike, we'll move on to today's game today. You say Billericay started brightly, looked more the lively side after 20 minutes, but the game changed again. It was that man Ricky Aguiar again. He's come across there, it's stabbed home. Great work from Will Richards to recycle the ball, get it back across, and Ricky stabbed it home. And really, from that moment on, we never really looked like we were out of control.
No, I'd probably agree with that. I think they had a few little patches here and there, but the more that the game went on, the more that we grew into it, got a bit more control. We deliberately tried to match him up today as well, which worked better with the loans coming in who can play a little bit more football, I would say. Even that took us a little bit of time to do that though, but it was just pleasing that there's a togetherness, and they want to be out there, they're trying their best. And it's like we say, we're not going to win every week or anything like that, but we're going to try our damnedest to do that.
Good stuff. And obviously going back to pre-season, which I know seems quite a long way away now, you brought in a couple of players that were early doors, one of them being Dan Griffiths. He's waited his time patiently on that sideline, taking chances when he's got the opportunity to come on and get minutes as and when. He's been really given the keys to the kingdom the last 2 weeks, firstly away at Dartford and now again today. He's rewarded you with the second goal, 2-2 for Griff. How's he getting on?
Yeah, a lot better from him, to be fair. I just, it sounds like you're making excuses for him, but I just think it does take a little bit of time when you come out of the pro game and then you drop into non-league, and all of a sudden you're training twice a week, you're travelling quite a way. A lot of the lads then get a second job as well, so it does take you a bit of time to acclimatise, and I think he has taken that time, but I think you have got a really good little goal scorer there. He needs to work on other parts of his game, like most of them do, but he's definitely got some lovely little green shoots that's coming up at the moment, so long may that continue.
And third and final, the goal went in. It was a bit of a scrappy one. It looked originally as if it was going to sort of be bounced away. I think it was given as an own goal by the dubious goals panel up in the stands, but Kieran Parcell tried to claim it, Joe Hanks tried to claim it, but it was really just a perfect cherry on a great performance for your boys today.
Yeah, it was. I mean, at first of all, I thought it was Harry Parsons that got a toe on it, but and I got to say that the loans that have come in have been great. And that last sort of 5-6 minutes, I was willing that to happen for him. But also we've got Ola to come in that as well. So and Ethan, I'm really pleased for those two. So it's no slight on them not starting this week as well, because they were superb last week. And we're just going to rotate it round a little bit, and every game that we play we look at a little bit differently, and today it worked and we had the right mix, and next week it'll be different again.
Yeah, and we'll touch briefly on the substitutions because unfortunately they were forced quite early. Certainly the first two in sort of 30 minutes, 40 minutes were forced your hand by the injury. Firstly, to Zane. Zane's one of the new lads in on loan. He looked very lively before he went off, and he was sat in front of us over the sort of coming rest of the game. Really didn't look too happy moving on his leg. No. And obviously Spencer Hamilton has been taken off. It looked a little bit more precautionary. He seems much more bright and bubbly after the game, jumping around, albeit with stuff popped up his nose as a bit of a precaution. But can you give us a little bit more of an update on those two lads? Anything more that you might know that we don't, Mike?
Yeah, I think Zane's going to be struggling with his hamstring. He feels like he's pulled it, but we'll have to wait for the Rovers physio to have a look at that. And big shout out to Rovers and Swindon Town and Exeter City for allowing those loans to come through this week as well, because they've really helped us out. He'll go back to them on Monday and have a little look, see what it's like. I think Spence will be all right. I don't, he's pretty tough, and we've had him before, and he's a decent lad. So I'm hoping it'll be okay for next week. But we've still got Pars there as well, who's come on today. He's done great again, and especially against a team that are going to go pretty direct, which they did in the second half a little bit more, and it was good to probably have him on the pitch, to be fair.
Excellent. And a 3-0 win, Mike. It's not really been a happy hunting ground for us, unfortunately, at home this season. We've seemed to struggle a little bit over the last couple of weeks, and the atmosphere can sometimes be quite flat. When that does tend to happen, it is a little bit of a dark place, and there is really nowhere to hide. But the boys have come out today, yourself right in front of them, and put on a great performance. 3-0 at home, and just give us a little bit of an insight as to how it feels for that second 45 minutes to hear the crowd roaring you all the way down the slope.
It's brilliant. It's fantastic. All the Chippenham lot behind that goal second half, and when you are on top of a team and it's 2-0 up, it's lovely to keep that motivation going. We've got a few of the old Gloucester City supporters came behind as well. I think they've enjoyed themselves in the bar today and enjoyed a very good game actually for the neutral. So even them, chucking in a bit of noise and just cajoling us along sometimes. When you have got that little bit of your foot on the net, you've got to keep it on. You've got to score your goals, and I thought we did that really well today, because when we needed to score, we scored, and that was pleasing, and we created a few more chances. So hopefully it's turning a corner, and hopefully we can pick up a few more home results.
Yeah, we don't want to blow too much smoke. Obviously, where it's, although it is necessarily due. Of course, it's the hard work that goes in a week that leads to the results and the performances on Saturday. But the amount of comments from around us today of Chippenham looking a little bit more exuberant, getting the ball on the deck, playing the ball around. It looked a little bit more fast-paced, a bit more skillful. Was just the injection of the youth, Mike, and the lads coming in from the academy, or is that something that you've been sort of trying to install in the squad over the last couple of months?
Yeah, to be honest, we have been trying to do it pre-season onwards, and I thought pre-season and early start, the sort of first 5 or 6 week games we were doing that, and then we've just obviously had a second month of that in October, which was not very good. And sometimes you have to take it on the chin and take the criticism. I think they've reacted really well to it. And obviously myself as well, getting criticised, that's not a problem. But it is frustrating when when you work with them on Tuesday and Thursdays, they are doing it, and it's just pressing a little bit of a panic button sometimes and going a little bit too long. And that's why we wanted to try and do that little bit of injection from the loan players. So thanks to the chairman as well for putting his hand in his pocket for that, because that is very much appreciated. And you could just see today they had that little bit more quality, and it did make a difference. And obviously if you get a reaction like this, like we've got today, it'd be lovely if they can stay and really put a lot of hard work in for us.
Top stuff. Well, Mike, I know you're not really one for looking at league tables a little bit prematurely, and I know you never answer the question, and we always get the trademark laugh when we mention any sort of league form or aspirations, but I'm sure you'd be interested to know that we've gone up to 11th with that, with 2 points off the playoffs. It is a bit of a difficult league and very, very difficult to anticipate where we may or may not end up, but for a club where we've made sort of papers in the week, and we've had conversations that sort of seemingly going around about slight troubles and other bits and pieces that are going on, having to make changes due to budget, having to make changes due to personnel. To be in that position still after all this time, it must feel like crisis what crisis.
Yeah, it is, but we've got to be realistic. With the budget that we've got now, it's not as good as it was. So we've got to spend our money really wisely, and we've got obviously a few connections that I've got with people like Ben Gardner and Scott Lindsay. Scott Marshall at Swindon have been absolutely superb. Chris Hargreaves at Bristol Rovers with Tommy Witherington. Matt Taylor, the manager down at Exeter City, they've been very accommodating and helped us out. So it does mean calling in a few favours, but if we can get the right personnel in, then first and foremost, we might have to have a little rethink about top 10, because that might not be achievable. But you know, if we play like that every week, why not? You know, that's where we want to keep at if we possibly can. But you know, everybody just needs to be a little bit patient with us as well, because it is going to take a little bit of time. And when and if the loans go back, it will be a few of the kids that are going to get chucked in. So we all need to be together with it, the supporters, board, everybody, and hopefully we can have a few more Saturday afternoons like this.
Hope so. Obviously a Saturday afternoon here, a 3-0 win at home. It's a bit of a rarity, but what isn't a rarity is going away on the road and getting a good point or more against sides that are certainly going to be up there challenging come the end of it. A very, very tricky game next week, Mike. You know, we take the boys away to the Gallagher. Maidstone are there. You know, they're going to be one of those teams that are certainly going to be looking at in the playoffs, if not trying to make a direct challenge for the league. But I suppose really coming off the back of a 3-0 win at home with the unbeaten run away from home, we've got nothing to fear.
No, I don't think so. I think that, you know, we're unbeaten, I think, still away from home, which is a very proud record to have for the club as well. If we can keep that going, it'd be fantastic against a team like that. They have got a little bit of quality. I think they were 8th or 9th today before the game started. So you'd expect them to be in that top 6 or 7, I think, at the end of the season. So it'll be tough again. But you know, we do seem to play a little bit better against the better teams, and you know, suits us the way that we play as well, I think. So we'll go there with no fear, and hopefully we'll get a result. Good
stuff. Well, Mike, we'll wrap it up for today. Obviously, let's focus on the main thing. 3 points today, 3 goals today, another clean sheet, a home win, which is a real plus. And yeah, great to hear the boys at the end there giving us a big rousing reception. Great to see the supporters back on their feet, and hopefully this is the start of Hard Newish Park becoming a fortress.
Yeah, agreed. No, and thanks to everybody for doing that as well today. It made it a special day.
Top stuff. Well, Mike, we'll let you get on with your post-match celebrations. Go and have a beer for us, mate, and we'll catch up with you soon.
Thanks.
Wonderful.
So.
Cheers, mate.
Cheers. Well done, fellas.